So, scientific method with Nemo and friends. Let me go through how to do this and read some of this presentation for you. First of all, keep it in presentation mode, just like it looks here. And second, you want to make sure you can see the speaker notes. If you're using a tablet, if you can use a computer or laptop instead, I would highly recommend it. But if not, you want to make sure that you choose the option to see the speaker notes. That way you can follow the directions and everything. So, science experiments use independent variables. This is the one and only factor that you change in an experiment. It's the one you want to see results for. They have dependent variables. These are the factors which are measured or observed in the experiment, and they respond to the changes in the independent variables. So, whatever you do here gives you these results. So, whatever's happening here depends on what you did here. It's dependent. The controlled variables. These are all the factors that stay the same in the experiment. So these are the things you don't change. You keep them all the same every time because you don't want them to interfere with the results of what's going on up here in your experiment. Finding Nemo controls and variables. Nemo and his reef pals have been busy doing a little research. We're going to read each description in the experiment and answer some questions on the next slides. Suppressant. Marlin wants to make his anemone home a safer place to live. He has created an ointment that he thinks will reduce the stinging power of the anemone. He recruits 100 neighbors that are willing to participate in his study. He has 50 of them, which we'll call Group A, apply the new ointment to their scales. The other 50, which we'll call Group B, apply a mixture that looks exactly like the new ointment, but is really just a mixture of sand and dye. Both groups were told that they were getting the ointment that would reduce the anemone stings. 2 hours after applying the ointment, 30 neighbors in Group A reported having fewer stings from the anemones, and 8 neighbors in Group B reported having fewer stings. So going through here, which group is the control group, A or B? Which is the independent variable, ointment, mixture? What is the dependent variable? No change in stings, fewer stings. For number 4, what should Marlin's conclusion be? So you will type that here by clicking here. And for 5, again, you'll type in the pink box by clicking there. What do you think the 8 neighbors from Group B reported feeling better? For questions 1, 2, and 3, you can use the red circles by dragging them over A or B, ointment, mixture, no sting, fewer stings, to just show that decision. Slide 5, Becky's Bubbles. Becky loves bubblegum and would like to be able to blow bigger bubbles than anyone else in the bay. To prepare for the bay's big bubble contest, she bought 5 different brands of bubblegum and needs your help to find the brand that creates the biggest bubbles. Use the scientific method to test the bubble power of the bubblegum brands and help Becky win the contest. We're going to fill out the information and help Becky design an experiment that will help her find the gum that blows the biggest bubbles. So you already have the problem written in here. Which gum will blow the biggest bubbles? So out of this experiment that I just read, which one is the independent variable? Go ahead and type that there. Which one's the dependent variable? Go ahead and type it there. And then design an experiment. This is where you're going to tell me, well, what would you do to test this? What would you do to test the different kinds of bubble gum to see which one is going to have the biggest bubble? What would you do? What kind of steps, things would you do to test this? And you're going to type that right here. If you happen to need more room, you can make the box bigger. Do what you need, okay? Slide 6, scientific method, drag and drop. So just reviewing those vocabulary terms, these little gray boxes do drag, and you just, maybe they're blue, you need to drag them over the green boxes where they would go, describing which one is the experimental group, the independent variable, the control group, the dependent variable, and the constants. The constants would be those things that stay. You can hit the link here to check your work if you need when you're done. The last slide is a little scavenger maze hunt, whatever you want to call it. So you start here. It's already got the blue circle around it, and then there's this rod here. And you're going to decide which way you're going. So obviously, we're already doing it here. start. Chris needs to come up with an experiment for his school science fair. So we ask a question. This is the way we're going. So these little blue circles do drag, and you can put them where they go. And the next thing would be, well, which detergent smells better? So you need to decide. This is not testable. This is a testable question. Or report your findings. So based on which one you decide, you can pick one of the rods here. Either if you pick this one to go here, or if you wanted this one, you could pick it and drag it over here. Or if you want report findings, you can take that and drag that there, and so on. And you can do that all the way through. You'll have a few extra, no, you won't have any extra circles, but you'll have extra rods left over. You won't use all of those. And that would be it. And again, you can check your answer by clicking this link. And that'll be it. Submit it when you're done. No need to share. This is your own copy for you to review.